Aloha America, Mr. Sports Travel coming at you from the Tar Heel State wearing his Tar Heel blue. Now where is Mr. Sports Travel in the Tar Heel State? More on that in a second. But first, if you've not done so already, please take the $50 pledge and donate $50 to OperationFirstResponse.org. The American Flagmobile, visiting each of the 50 states to catch a sporting event. Already been to Hawaii, Alaska will be last. Doing the lower 48 in North Carolina. This is my 50th year. More than 25 years I've been road tripping. My late father was in the Air Force. Freedom is not free. I'm able to do this because we live in a free country. Let's give back to our service members, vets, first responders, and their families. Please donate $50 today to OperationFirstResponse.org. In exchange, I will help you plan your next sports road trip and or a friend you designate. And or we can talk over the phone, via video, or I'll even meet you in person. All right, so where is Mr. Sports Travel in the Tar Heel State? I am in the Queen City, ladies and gentlemen, Charlotte, North Carolina. And I am in front of Bank of America Stadium. I rarely endorse a corporation. In fact, no corporations are supporting me. Thanks, corporate America. But if you do want to donate, I'll gladly take your money. We're in front of Bank of America Stadium. I 100% self-fund my road trips. But the reason I'm here is Charlotte is the financial capital of North Carolina, even though it's closer to South Carolina than the rest of North Carolina in terms of geography. And in 1995, a watershed moment in the history of Charlotte sports, and really sports in the Carolinas, occurred when the Carolina Panthers debuted here in Charlotte as an expansion team in the National Football League. Now, the sun is coming this direction, so you can't really make out great because you're shooting into the sun, kind of, sort of. But you can see the skyline. We're in downtown Charlotte here, and you can see the skyline, sort of the remnants of it. Now, when you're in the stadium and you're in the top bowl of the stadium, you get a spectacular view of the skyline, as you do of the minor league baseball park here in Charlotte. So 1995 was a watershed moment because the NFL is the cream of the crop when it comes to the four major sports, and everybody knows that. And Carolina was welcomed to the club in 1995 along with Jacksonville. So here we are, Bank of America Stadium in downtown Charlotte. Now, Charlotte had professional sports before then. People forget that the current New Orleans Pelicans used to be the New Orleans Hornets, which used to be the Charlotte Hornets. The Charlotte Hornets were in the NBA from 1988 to 2002, and in the Larry Johnson era, they were packing that place. The old Charlotte arena, which is no longer there. Unfortunately, things took a turn for the worse. The franchise relocated to New Orleans, and the current Charlotte Hornets, which used to be called the Bobcats, were a new team, and they play downtown not far from here. But I chose this venue because when you think about the South, you think football. And yes, Atlanta had a team. Yes, the Dolphins had a team. Yes, the Buccaneers had a team. The Carolinas never had a professional football team until 1995. And of course, a couple of years later, the Carolinas added a hockey team when, much to my chagrin, my hometown Hartford Whalers moved to Raleigh to become the Carolina Hurricanes. They actually played in Greensboro while the new arena in Raleigh was being built. So, each of these videos, I share my most recent memory in the state, sports memory, my first sports memory in the state, and my favorite sports memory in the state. Again, sporting the Tar Heel blue. How we doing? Pretty good. All right. Now, first sports memory in the Tar Heel State was actually minor league baseball. And I want to say the year was around 2000, 2001. And I went to the current Durham Bulls Athletic Park, which is the home of the AAA Durham Bulls. And if you've seen the movie Bull Durham, the original ballpark where they shot that movie, it's still there, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, if you've ever come to Raleigh, Durham, you need to check it out. It's used in the spring by North Carolina Central for college baseball, and then it's used in the summer by adult leagues and things like that. So Mr. Sports Travel, the everywhere man, of course, he's been there. So that was my first experience, the current AAA ballpark, Durham, 2000, 2001. Most recent experience here was actually here last night in this city. Really one of the most historic buildings in Charlotte is it's called the Bojangles Coliseum. But used to just be called the Coliseum. Built in the 50s, it's been used by the minor league hockey team here, and it previously hosted the CIAA basketball championships, which is made up of primarily HBCUs, not at the Division I level. I saw the Big South championship, not championship, but the tournament last night here in Charlotte. That was my most recent event. So I've been sports traveling through the Carolinas, and North Carolina in particular, for more than 20 years. Favorite memory in the Tar Heel State? I think that's a pretty easy one for me. Probably the most fabled venue in all of this state. This is a basketball state, even though you've got the football. When you think of college basketball, now on the professional side it's football. High school football is very big here. But on the college side, this is Tobacco Road, folks. This is college basketball mecca. University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, the Tar Heels, Tar Heel Blue here. NC State, Jim Valvano, Raleigh Red. Wake Forest, the Demon Deacons, Chris Paul went there. But the cream of the crop, in my judgment, in terms of venue, not knocking North Carolina's championship history, I'm talking in terms of venue, is obviously Cameron Indoor Stadium. So Cameron Indoor Stadium, home of the Duke Blue Devils basketball team. My favorite memory, Duke, Michigan State, great matchup, and it was just fantastic. Duke won the game, non-conference game. I want to say it was around 2017, maybe 2018, don't quote me on that. The thing I remember most about the game, besides the atmosphere, and I'd been to Duke before to see a basketball game, the thing I remember most about it was it's so hot in there. And it's very hard, I think, for not only the noise of the fans, but even for the opposing teams to adjust to the heat. And here's my example of that. I had a media pass. I've written for Basketball Times since 2012, as many of you know. And I'm on court level, the game is over, and I'm going toward the interview area. And Tom Izzo, the coach of Michigan State, is doing his post-game press conference, not press conference, a radio, with I assume the campus radio station, or the campus post-game radio with Michigan State, okay? And so he's on sort of the side of the court, and he is sweating head to toe. He's the coach! He's sweating head to toe. And Tom Izzo, they lost the game, I get it, but his facial expression looked like someone had beat him up in a fight. I mean, he was exhausted. You could see this sense of exhaustion. Now, it might have been disappointment they lost the game, but you saw this sense of exhaustion on his face, and he was sweating. He's the coach. Now, granted, coaches are moving all the time. They're pointing this and that during the game. But that's my example of how hot it was in there. In fact, I remember I was wearing something equivalent to this, long sleeve shirt, and for some reason it was a cold winter night. I think I would say late November, before the conference season started, and I brought a sweater, and a pretty thick sweater. I mean, literally, I had to shed that sweater within 5 minutes getting in there. Even for the game, it started. It's hot. They cram all those people in there. It's a very small stadium. It's just a cracker box gym. I mean, Cameron Indoor Stadium is a cracker box gym. But the history there, the tradition, the Duke fans, the matchup. I've been here to see 2 football games, the Panthers even against the Cowboys. My first visit in 07. I'm sorry, there's nothing like Duke basketball. UNC is great. The Dean Dome, it's okay. There's nothing like a game at Cameron Indoor. So if you ever get a chance, you want to experience the best sporting venue in the Carolinas, North or South Carolina, go see the Duke Blue Devils. So, hope you've enjoyed the Tar Heel State video. Mr. Sports Travel here in downtown Charlotte, the Queen City, in front of Bank of America Stadium, a watershed moment for professional sports here in the Carolinas. Now you've got the basketball, the hockey up in Raleigh. Who knows, you might have MLB coming to Charlotte in the future. Who knows what's going to happen with the Tampa Bay Rays and the Oakland A's, and or with expansion. There is a beautiful minor league park here in Charlotte. If you have not done so already, please donate $50 to Operation First Response. I would be most grateful and appreciative of that. Please look for my other videos, including the South Carolina video and all the other videos in the South, across America, including the District of Columbia. Mr. Sports Travel on the road, having a great time. Got to get back on the road, see some more sports. Have yourself a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.